Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
Oh, this is so fun. I love what you guys are doing. This is just so cool.
This is The Studio, brought to you by the Slow Arc Foundation, connecting Cal Poly architecture through entertainment, news, and scholarships since 2009. This is the home of Cal Poly students, alumni, faculty, and friends, where we discuss all things architecture, Cal Poly, and everything in between.
Okay, welcome to episode 128 of The Studio. It is August 30th, 2017, and I looked at the calendar. It's been almost 2 years since we last recorded an episode of The Studio. So it's a bit of a hiatus, but we're having a reunion show today. We've got Q Kim and Carley Altoff, and maybe some other people will join us, maybe not. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's been a while. A lot has happened in the last 2 years. So I'm not even sure where to start. Carley, right before the show, you were just telling us about something that happened today. Do you want to start there, or should we start somewhere else?
Yeah, well, I can give you the little story, but it's kind of interesting how it all played out. But I've been churning away at my AREs, finished those last year or in the past year, and I just took my CSCE, the California Supplemental Exam, to get my architecture license a couple weeks ago. And so the process is supposed to go that you take your exam, you come out of the room, and you receive your results because it's computerized and processed that way. And when I came out of the testing center, they didn't give me my results, and I called, and there were some issues, but long story short, I had to wait 2 long weeks to get my results finally over email, and I failed, but it was my first time, and I'm prepared for the next shot, and I have 6 months to prepare myself for the next one. But it was great. It was a good experience. I feel confident, and I feel prepared for the next time. But yeah, it was kind of an ordeal just getting through that process and studying like crazy because I'm about to leave the country pretty soon. So it was kind of a mad rush at the end, but I did it and I got the experience. So
Yeah, and I want to get to your leaving the country in a minute, but I totally feel you on those 2 week wait. When I took the test, none of it was computerized, so we had months. But between me finishing the AREs and being eligible for the CSCE, the state architects board misplaced my paperwork, and so I was calling, day after day, like, hey, any progress? Like I was about to, to go down there and help them look for it, but ended up being, on somebody's desk. So yeah, you're so close to that finish line, and to have those little hiccups is frustrating.
Yeah, it happens,
Yeah. Well, congratulations for doing it. I mean, that's a big step, to get to that point, and you're on that last little home stretch. So
yeah, it's not a race. And thanks. I'm excited.
You'll get it.
And
Exactly.
you're a step ahead of me because I too have finished the AREs in the past year, but I haven't taken the CSCE yet. So
Yeah, it's quite a wait just to get all the applications and the fee processed, but it's worth it. It's good.
Well, I'm a little encouraged that you didn't pass it first time around because I've been involved since the computerized CSCE came about. I've been involved in the creation of the exam, and one thing we're always struggling with is trying to make the test entry level, but not making it too easy, right?
Right.
And so I know it hurts not to have passed, but as one of the exam writers, I'm a little encouraged that maybe we're striking the right balance there with the test.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's a fine line that we're always struggling with.
Yeah, and I'm young. I've only been around for a couple years in the field, so I think experience has a bit to do with it too.
And it can also hurt you. Like there's, architects that come in from out of state and they've got a lot of experience, but they've been doing things the wrong way.
Yeah.
or a different way that's not the way things are supposed to be done in California. So then
Mhm.
they come and take the CSC and they don't pass, and they're like, what the heck? I've been practicing architecture for 20 years and I can't pass this test.
Yeah.
So you're in good company.
Depends.
Yeah. And how about you, Q? You said you finished AREs as well. So
Yeah, so I think last time we recorded, I still had a couple exams left. I eventually was able to finish them, and like I said, I'm just waiting to sign up for the CSC. I've been meaning to study for the test before I actually schedule the exam, but the 2-year-old and all the other stuff that's going on, it's been tough to get to that point. But I think after listening to Carley, maybe I'll just go ahead and sign up for it and take it, and
Go for it.
if I fail, and hopefully it'll give me more encouragement and motivation to study.
yeah, so you brought up another point there, just life and things outside of the profession have happened. So Haley's not on the show right now, and maybe she'll be able to join us later, but she had twins in the last 2 years, and Q, you had a baby. I had my daughter, I think, shortly before we recorded the last episode, and I just had a baby boy this last weekend.
Congrats.
Thanks. Carley, any kids?
Not yet.
You're falling
Not looking at that anytime soon.
you're falling behind. Yeah. So Q, are you still in Palo Alto at ACS? What where are you at career-wise?
I am, yeah. So I'm still in Palo Alto. For the most part, on the professional side of things, not much has changed. I have started kind of a side practice called J&K Atelier with my wife,
Nice.
who has more of an interior design background. And we, in the past couple months, back in June, we did a street art installation that was a little bit architecture oriented here in downtown Palo Alto. And we've been picking up some projects of our own, but I am continuing with ACS, and we have the backing from ACS to do the J&K stuff. So it's been fun, and I don't know how much I told you guys on previous shows, but I had kind of done my own sole proprietorship under a different name, and that's kind of dissolved and become J&K, and staying busy, and I'm sure you can attest to that as well, Tim.
Yeah. The last 2 years, I've seen a lot of changes in just what I've done. About almost 2 years ago now, I bought out my partner and took over the firm, and we rebranded. We were De Jesus and Aleatory Architects. Now, the legal name of the company with the state of California is Aleatory Architects Inc., but we're operating under the trade name Domum.
Domus. Oh, Domo.
Domum, yeah, which is Latin. It's one of the derivatives of domus, domum, the whole thing with home, and I like domum because it's not to get too deep into Latin, but it's a form of the word where you're doing something to it, like you're going home or you're making something more like home, that kind of thing. So I like that.
Very
And
cool.
right now we've got a staff of, I think we're at 9. We just lost an intern. We were at 10. But I'm looking to hire. If
Wow.
anybody's in the Sacramento area and wants to work for me, I need people. Yeah, we're growing like crazy. Like you're saying, it's been busy, and just steadily over the last 2 years, I've been hiring. And right now we've just got so much work, more than we can really handle, and we're getting more inquiries. Every day people are coming up with, new and exciting projects. So it's just been, it's been a roller coaster, and it hasn't, slowed down at all. But being the owner and dealing with all the management stuff, I'm doing a lot less, what I would say, architecture than I used to be. And I knew that would happen with growth. I'm not doing, I might touch Revit once a week. I'm doing a lot more reviewing other work, redlining, talking big picture, human resources stuff, accounting. There's my role shifted. Actually, I'm sitting in my office right here. I've got these nice windows. I look out onto
Corner window office.
I've got
Nice.
a corner window office, yeah, and I've got a big view of nice open space. And right here, in the last 2 years, I got my license in Idaho. That little paper right there is my license in Idaho. We're doing a project up in Idaho, and of course my Cal Poly diploma right there.
Woohoo. Yes. Loud and proud.
Yeah. Speaking of Cal Poly, did any of you guys get down to the Chumash show this last spring?
I did.
How was it?
It was extremely impressive. I feel like every year it gets better, and I I feel almost self-conscious because my own project, I feel, is so far behind the years after mine now. And there were some really, really great projects, a lot of big picture projects. There were some that were at a smaller scale as well, and some just really cool imagery, really cool design ideas that are that were challenging to me, and I was inspired by a lot of the sustainable initiatives and the design concepts. They're really innovative, so it was good. As a professional, I think I really couldn't just people to attend Chumash as they kind of move into their career, because it provides a lot of really great design inspiration that you might not otherwise see in the workplace.
Yeah, definitely. I think this year was, I can't remember if I went last year. Anyways, it's been a while since I've been to Chumash, and I felt it. Like, I really, like you said, I enjoyed going there every year and seeing the new ideas and the different exploration of technologies and sustainability. Yeah, I heard somebody on the phone over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna move into the shade over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm mobile today, so forgive me for my shakiness.
No, I'm glad you're able to be on the show. It's
Yeah.
actually it's fun because we'll talk about your plans in a second, but you're going to be a little bit more mobile in the coming months. But I was going to say, we're actually in the office right now. We're working on a couple of passive homes, which has been really fun, delving into materials and energy science, and really trying to optimize orientation and massing and all that. I felt like I've been back at school, doing some more experimental stuff, which has been fun.
Yes.
Okay, so elephant in the room, Carley, you're going to Africa.
I am.
So why don't you fill us in? What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, well, for the past few years, let me give a little background. I've been involved with an organization. It's a nonprofit that's called Journeyman International. It provides free design, architecture, engineering, construction management to other nonprofits by connecting volunteers in both the university world and in the professional world with these nonprofits that seek us out for their design needs. If they want to build a project in a developing country, they can reach out to Journeyman International. We connect them with the designers, and then they provide design work for either construction or fundraising. So what I did a few years ago for my thesis project at Cal Poly was I was connected to a nonprofit in the Philippines. I designed a church for them, and they ended up building it the year after. And that sparked an ongoing relationship between myself and this organization, Journeyman International, or JI. And I've continued to serve with them on a volunteer basis since going into the workforce and starting my career in architecture. So it's been kind of a side thing. And I've gotten more and more involved over the past couple years. And actually this past January, I went to Rwanda. It's a little country in the heart of Africa for those who aren't familiar. But I went over there. I got called in to design another church, or another multipurpose center for this village that ended up now being a master plan project that I'm involved with, and so that along with a few other projects in Africa that I've been involved with has led to this organization we're working with there asking for me to come alongside them and start forming this partnership between JI and a few different organizations in Africa. So they asked me earlier this year to consider going over there full time and managing projects, doing a little bit of design work, but mostly coordination in construction and coordinating the volunteer designers and the projects themselves. So after a lot of consideration and thinking, yes, okay, this is something that I feel called into, something that I feel so much purpose in, and just gets me so excited, and is along the same trajectory as my career or my ideal career in kind of the humanitarian nonprofit world. I decided to take this opportunity and go for an extended period of time that is actually yet to be determined still.
So Carley, you're actually moving there for this.
I'm uprooting myself for a little while, and it's not. I'm not thinking of it right now as permanent, but it will be an extended time,
Right.
A few months to potentially longer. But yeah, so I've been kind of transitioning out of my jobs here in California, and that's another reason why I took my CSE when I did, was because I wanted to at least try it out and before I moved on. But we'll obviously be coming back and retaking the exam and continuing to pursue a career as an architect. So, but I think this is a really great opportunity to go for it while I can, and I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
I
maybe coming around a little bit full circle. Can you update us on where in California you are right now? Are you in SLO? Are you?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California in Orange County right now, and I have been for the past 2 years. After I graduated from Cal Poly, I moved down to Orange County to work in at a couple different architecture firms, actually.
Cool. Well, I think Tim probably agrees, but I'm definitely excited for you, and I think just like you said, it's probably the perfect time to try something like that, and whether it ends up being a couple months or maybe a year or longer, I think it's definitely something that isn't just completely out there. It's like you said, related to your profession, and you feel strongly about the kind of work that you're doing there. So congratulations, and we hope you can continue to update us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you betcha.
So I have a question for you. With the first trip you did to Africa in January, how was that funded? Was that you personally funding it? Was that Journeyman International? Was that the organization in Africa? How did that first trip work?
The first trip, the organization in Africa that we were working with actually funded the flights over. So that's part of the buy-in with our clients, so to speak. And in our agreements, when we provide the free design, they usually, if they're able to, pay for site visits and either cover flights or provide a place to stay, or both. So that's how the trip was funded.
So on that trip, you were doing a project, you said. Can you say a little bit more about that and what was involved with that?
Yeah, the one that I'm doing right now, and I've been involved with it for about a year now, is there's this amazing village in Rwanda. It's called Sununu Village, and Journeyman International actually has a relationship with this village in that a couple years ago we provided a design for a library there, and that was built a year ago, a little over a year ago, I think, and that was a very successful project and beginning of a partnership between JI and the organization in Rwanda is called Empowering Villages. So what they do is develop these rural areas and empower the locals to build up their own communities physically by maybe constructing their buildings and also economically being able to sustain themselves. And we help provide the design and infrastructure for them to do that. So we did the library, and then they said, we want to do more. We'll bring in fundraising if you provide the design. So the rest of this village, I've been working with them to create different spaces for their community to grow, like this multi-purpose center now that I designed that will function as a church, a daycare center, a gathering space for the community, and be right next to the library previously designed by JI.
Stats against numbers, right? Basically, yeah.
And also there are a few other elements of this village, like a playground, a little soccer area, and there's eco-lodges, potential economic center that we will be just building upon in, I'm sure, the coming years. And as money comes into this endeavor, we'll continue to help them develop their infrastructure in that way. So.
And then are you working as a mentor with students on these projects?
Yeah, that's kind of another hat that I wear. I like 3 different roles in JI, and that's one of them is I'm a mentor to the designers, the students mostly, who are like mostly Cal Poly students who have their thesis projects that they design with, and so I provide some mentorship and feedback as they go through the design process, and then the last hat that I wear in JI is more of an administrative role where I help with the background organization and coordinating people and funding sponsorships, grants, and marketing, social media, stuff like that. So yeah.
So I just
planting an office there.
I just did a quick Google search. It's a 20-hour nonstop flight from LAX to Rwanda.
Wow, nonstop.
Do you fly nonstop?
I don't. I usually fly through Europe. That's typically what people do to go into Rwanda is fly through one of the airlines in Europe, stop there on the way, and then just go straight down into Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now your new trip coming up. When are you thinking of heading out? How much more time in California do you have?
Yeah, well, it's coming up pretty fast here now. I have a few weeks actually. My flight out is September 22nd. Oh, wow. So I'm just about ready to head out, and we'll be flying out of Oakland, actually, up in Northern California, and then going through. It's going to take me a couple weeks to get there. I'm going through Europe for a little while, and then we'll fly into Rwanda in October, first week of October, and just hit the ground running and get right to work.
That's awesome. So so we talked about how the first trip earlier this year was funded. How are you going to support yourself in Rwanda for an indeterminate amount of time? How's that working out?
Well, that involves I'm helping with bringing in sponsorships from either corporate sponsorships or people who donate to JI, and part of those sponsorships are going to come and be kind of like a salary, or kind of like raising support for missions, but in the realm of the architectural industry. So a lot of these sponsorships, or a few of them, will be going towards this, helping the business, the financial, aspect of planting an office in Rwanda, and that will kind of help support my time there. But I also have a savings that I'm going to be, that I kind of established for myself as a cushion.
Right. So that's a little pressure on you to raise funds to allow you to stay there.
Yeah.
I was just looking. The price of living in Rwanda is about half of what it is on average in the United States. So it's cheaper. And then as far as where you're going to stay, is the community helping out with your housing accommodations, or are you going to have to build your own hut? I don't know how that works.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. But I am going to stay in Kigali, in the capital, in a home owned by the guy that I'm working with over there, who owns this nonprofit, this company that we're working with. So he said, hey, you can stay in my home, work in our office, and be able to kind of hop around from there using their car. So they've been really generous with everything there, all the resources. So I'll be able to be accommodated.
That's awesome. So then they have an office space you're just going to use. So that makes it easier.
Right. Yeah. The office space is set up, and hopefully we'll have the resources we need within that, like the technology. And I know that everything's on their end. They're setting things up for us so that we can be efficient and effective over there, from our standpoint. But
yeah, so I'm getting a crash course on Rwanda right now.
Nice.
I'm not sure how much Q knows about Rwanda, but I'm feverishly reading Wikipedia and looking at Google Maps. So it looks like the capital is right about in the heart of Rwanda.
I know there's been a little bit of political tension in the past. I know it's a mainly French-speaking country, right?
Yeah, French is one of their main languages. Most people speak English in the cities, and they do have a local language that I'm still learning, just the basic phrases. But it's a beautiful language, beautiful country, and the people are just amazing. And I felt very welcomed there when I went last time, and it was a really nice place.
So what are your hopes and expectations from this trip?
I anticipate a lot of personal growth, and I know it's going to be challenging. So I want to be challenged. I want to learn how to manage and organize projects in teams in a different country with a different context than I'm used to. I know I'll be thrown out of my comfort zone. I already am, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge, and I'm excited to grow in just my leadership capabilities. And I know there will be a lot of opportunity for me to take steps and take initiative with managing these projects. So yeah, I think professionally, I expect to grow, and I'm going to push myself to grow in that way. And also, yeah, just in my relationships there with the people that I already know and the people that I will be meeting, I hope that I come out with great friendships. I know I will. I've met a few people there who are just incredible, and I'm excited to build on those. So, yeah. I think it'll be a really good time of growth, and I'll be able to take that back with me as I continue my career in the homeland. So we'll see. I think it'll really add to my unique career path, and yeah, it'll really be good.
Well, we'll definitely. Yeah, will definitely stand out on the resume that you were a project manager in Rwanda. Not many people can claim that they did that. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. Really, really lucky.
And they have, so you're still going to have, I'm just trying to figure out, you're going to have students coming out to visit for the projects from time to time, right? But other than that, you're the lone Journeyman International person there, right?
Well, actually, for at least the first few months, I will be joined by a very, very good friend of mine, and also a volunteer with Journeyman, who will be assisting in all this work that I'm doing with project management and Journeyman International related tasks. And her name's Mia, and she's got some really great experience. She's more on the engineering side of the expertise, and so she'll provide a lot of great support. And we're going to work together as a team, she and I, in Rwanda together. We'll be living together and working together, and so it'll be great to have a buddy when we're both over there. And so it'll be Mia and me, and we'll be working with a team over there of mixed people.
Maybe one last question on Rwanda. What's the process of building like there? Do you have to go through a planning department, a building department, or can you just build whatever you like as long as you own the land? What's that like?
Yeah, well, it kind of depends. It depends on where you're trying to build, and usually if it's within a certain district, you have to get the district's approval. And go to, I'm not sure if it's a planning department or some like kind of civic entity that you have to go to for permits, but you apply for the permit using a basic set of drawings, similar to what you would do here, but a little bit scaled back, a little higher level. And then moving forward, you kind of provide your own team. So hopefully we'll have a good team of people who know what they're doing already, that we can, because I'm still learning how things work in Rwanda. So I know we'll be working with people who have built in the local area before, who can provide some guidance.
Do they have an inspection process? Like once you get the permit and you start, is there some way to enforce that you built what was approved?
I'm not quite sure. I think that also depends on how stringent they are, because I going around there in January, I saw a lot of buildings that had just kind of fallen apart and were just unoccupied, and not really sure how long those were standing, but it probably varies. But hopefully, I mean, I know that we'll do our best to provide really thorough inspection, whether it be by some kind of building official or local tradesman who understands how things are put together. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
And then what's the food like? What do you eat when you're there?
The food's really basic, actually. It's your typical, vegetables, some chicken, meat, potatoes, rice, beans. That's the kind of staple food items. And then there are some more exotic things and ways that they prepare the food that is just delicious. But for the most part, it's not too much of an adjustment, and it's pretty easy to hopefully adjust physically to eating the local food.
So will you have access to email? Can we say hi? I mean, are you going to be completely cut off from the world? How's that work?
I will definitely not be cut off from the world. I'll have access to Wi-Fi. I'll have email. I'm keeping up a blog I can send you guys. I'll be on Facebook, WhatsApp, whatever else there is that we can use. Instagram. Anybody follow me on Instagram if you want to see some weird Rwandan things. So yeah, it'll be easy to stay in touch.
Yeah, shoot me over the links, and then I'll put them in the show notes. That way people can follow you.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, Q, do you have any other questions that you want to ask Carley about this grand adventure?
No, I'm just excited. It almost feels like I'm going along with her, but I'm sure it'll be an experience. And I'm excited about your journey to Rwanda as well. It sounds like you're going to be spending some time in Europe, and all of us with architecture backgrounds, we definitely like to travel through Europe and kind of see different aspects and different ways of architecture and how architecture is done. So just overall really excited for you, and just can't stress enough how proud we are, as a podcast team, to be sending you out there, and keep us updated, and we'll definitely include those links and other things down in the show notes.
Sweet. Thank you guys. It means a lot to have your support.
Well, it's like Q said, it's exciting for us, and I'm glad I don't have to do it. I mean, it'd be a really good experience, but like where I'm at in my life right now, with all my kids in the office and stuff, I can't do it. So
yeah,
it's fun that I can kind of live vicariously through you and follow your adventures and see what you're doing. And speaking of that, so you and I have had some conversations about my firm getting involved with Journeyman International.
Yeah.
And possibly us providing some mentorship and some sponsorship. So we'll have to have some more conversations about that offline. And it looks like we've got another couple weeks to nail that down before you leave the country. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's the best part of corporate sponsorship, is being able to partner with the student or the volunteer and provide that guidance as they go through the design process. They can feel like you're really involved.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of international experience here. We do have, one of my staff members is an architect in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And he's very confused by our stick-framed construction here in California. He doesn't get it. Like, why do you do that? It's cheap. Do it out of concrete brick.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's another question. So what are the building materials like? What resources do you have over there in Rwanda?
Well, most building materials are widely available. Sometimes some areas manufacture their own building materials, like make bricks, and concrete's widely available. There's some steel. Wood is it's kind of your typical, like, chop down a tree and create the stick structure out of the locally available flora, it's a lot of the buildings around in Rwanda are concrete frame or mud brick, and there's a lot of volcanic stone in the northern area that's used as kind of a foundation material or cladding. exterior, kind of a. It's really nice looking, but yeah, it's pretty easy to find materials and cost out that stuff.
Yeah, that's fun. It seems like here in the States, there's such a shift towards engineered products. But even here, like we had the rep from one of the big CMU concrete masonry unit manufacturers here the other day, and he was saying about how brick in particular and the masonry units, you just draw from the local materials, and so the color offerings and the palette of materials in Northern California is different than in Alabama, for example. And that's part of the fun. In, I guess, Rwanda, you got the volcanic rock and those different local materials that you can pull from to create. That's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, we all have to get back to work. you got to get out of that cafe and get back in your office. Are you at home? Are you at your office? What are you doing?
So yeah, right now I'm at home. I was at the office this morning, but there's been some shifts at the office, and it's much more quiet to be recording at home. So I thought I'd come home, record the show, maybe have a quick lunch, and then head back.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing that. You've got another 20 minutes until 1 o'clock, so we'll end this show, and then you can have some lunch. Well, thank you guys for adjusting your schedules and coming on, and thank you to whoever's watching this. You stuck around for 2 years to watch this video, and we'll post it on our Facebook page, Twitter, my blog, website. I'm not sure what I have anymore. We'll put it out everywhere so people can support, and we'll have all the links for Carley down below, as well as to a link to Journeyman International. If somebody wants to contribute and help sponsor your trip, Carley, who should they talk to? Just contact you directly?
You can contact me directly. Usually the one that people come to, or go to the Journeyman International website. You can donate via a link on the website, and it's really easy. So yeah, or just contact me anyway, because I love sharing the experience with people, and yeah.
Okay, great. We'll have a link below.
Yes.
Well, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time, hopefully before 2 years are up.
Yeah.